This hot dog recall roundup reveals shocking reasons behind the removal of countless frankfurters from shelves, information that might just make you reconsider your next hot dog. As a kid, you may have dreamed of being an Oscar Mayer wiener, but after learning about the 2014 recall, you might reconsider. In April of that year, 96,000 pounds of Oscar Mayer hot dogs were pulled from shelves due to a packaging mix-up. The company's cheese dogs were mistakenly wrapped in labels for the classic variety, which don't contain dairy. This oversight posed a serious risk to consumers with dairy allergies or intolerances. A vigilant customer spotted the error and alerted Kraft, prompting the recall. With the mispackaged dogs already distributed across the country, it became a major logistical challenge for the company to retrieve all affected products. In July 2023, Perdue Premium Meats initiated a recall of Brookside smoked sausages after it was found that they contained milk, an undeclared allergen, on the packaging. This oversight affected 3,384 pounds of product that had already been distributed, despite the allergen not being listed. The recall was limited to Ohio, where the sausages had been sold. Fortunately, no illnesses or injuries were reported, even though the recall occurred around the busy 4th of July holiday. Customers were advised to check the product codes, lot numbers, and sell-by dates, and either dispose of or return any affected packages. In December 1998, Sara Lee issued a massive recall of 15 million pounds of frankfurters and other meats due to deadly listeria contamination. The outbreak tragically claimed 15 lives, sickened over 80 people, and caused 6 miscarriages. The $76 million recall also led to federal criminal charges against Sara Lee. 3 years later, the plant responsible pleaded guilty and paid a $3 million penalty to fund food safety research. This wasn't Sara Lee's only brush with recalls over listeria concerns. In March 2000, the company recalled 34,500 pounds of ballpark franks after potential contamination was flagged during a military lab inspection at an Army commissary. Thankfully, no illnesses were reported, allowing Sara Lee to contain the issue before it escalated. While far less severe than the 1998 crisis, the incident underscored the ongoing challenges of ensuring food safety in large-scale meat production, highlighting the importance of rigorous inspections and proactive measures to protect public health. Hot dog recalls sometimes generate international attention, as was the case in 2018 when Kent Quality Foods removed 280,000 pounds of hot dogs and sausages from store shelves. The recall stemmed from undeclared hydrolyzed soy protein, a common food-safe filler. In this case, the soy protein was part of a spice blend used in the sausages, but was mistakenly left off the ingredient label. Since soy is a known allergen, Kent acted decisively to prioritize consumer safety by recalling all affected products. To minimize risk, even items with potential cross-contamination were included in the recall. The issue was identified in May 2018, impacting products with label dates ranging from September 9, 2017 to April 29, 2018. The recall gained international coverage, highlighting the importance of accurate labeling in maintaining trust and ensuring public health. In 2016, Bar S, a major name in the hot dog industry, faced a significant issue, recalling 372,684 pounds of chicken and pork franks and corn dogs due to potential listeria contamination. The affected products, spanning 5 package types, were produced during a 4-day period in July. Although no illnesses were reported, the processing plant was confirmed as a site of listeria exposure. Bar S acted swiftly, issuing a voluntary recall to safeguard customers and uphold its reputation. This proactive move emphasized the company's commitment to safety, even in the absence of confirmed health impacts, showcasing the critical importance of addressing contamination risks in large-scale food production. In 2017, Sabrett recalled 7 million pounds of hot dogs after customers discovered bone and cartilage fragments in their products. While hot dogs often spark concerns about their ingredients, finding actual bone pieces is far from typical. Unfortunately, this recall brought an unpleasant reality to light, reminding consumers of the unexpected risks that can occasionally slip through in mass food production.
Do not send squirrel bones. Thank you.
The recalled hot dogs came from Marathon Enterprises Inc.'s Bronx facility and were distributed nationwide. While Sabrett might not dominate grocery aisles, its iconic blue and yellow umbrella carts make its franks a staple for street food enthusiasts. The issue wasn't isolated. Hot dogs produced between March 17th and July 4th, 2017 were affected, prompting a widespread recall that underscored potential risks even in trusted, widely available products. In July 2024, A.W. Farms faced a significant recall of 6,900 pounds of sausages that were distributed without undergoing a required federal inspection. While no adverse health effects were reported from consuming the hot dogs, the lack of inspection made the recall necessary. The affected sausages were only distributed in Ohio and West Virginia, specifically to hotels and restaurants, not directly to grocery stores. However, there was still concern that undetected contaminants could have posed a health risk to those who consumed the products. As a precaution, A.W. Farms instructed kitchens with the potentially affected sausages to either dispose of them or return them for a refund. Food recalls often highlight the critical risks of mislabeling, as seen in November 2014 when Cityline Foods recalled nearly 1.2 million pounds of pretzel dogs. The issue? Soy lecithin, an allergen, had been used as a releasing agent on production surfaces, but its presence wasn't disclosed on packaging, a serious concern for those with soy allergies. The recall extended beyond Cityline Foods branded products to items distributed under names like Auntie Anne's and Nathan's famous pretzel dogs. Despite the scale of the recall, only 281,790 pounds of the pretzel dogs were recovered, according to the USDA. This incident serves as a stark reminder of how seemingly small oversights in labeling can create widespread risks for consumers and substantial challenges for food producers. In 2023, Foster Farms recalled a large batch of mini corn dogs, 76,961 pounds, after customers reported an off-putting smell, unusual appearance, and poor taste. These issues indicated potential spoilage, raising concerns about food safety and the risk of illness for anyone consuming the affected corn dogs. The recall aimed to prevent further harm, addressing the serious quality issues before any consumers were impacted.
The product has an odor.
There were no reported illnesses linked to the recall, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture was not alerted to any complaints. The recall was specific to 1.83-pound bags containing 40 battered chicken franks, yet the product had been distributed nationwide. To mitigate the risk, customers were advised to discard any affected bags from their freezers or return them for a refund. Stores were also instructed to remove the product from shelves to prevent further sales and minimize the potential harm to consumers. Hot dogs are typically pre-cooked, making them safe for quick reheating at home. However, in July 1994, Oklahoma City-based Wilson Food Corp faced a major recall after discovering that 228,000 pounds of Wilson's hot dogs and Corn King's Jumbo Franks, produced at their Arkansas plant, had been packaged without being fully cooked. This significant oversight necessitated pulling 114 tons of hot dogs off the market. This incident wasn't Wilson's first brush with undercooking recalls. Just a year earlier, the company had to recall 20 tons of hot dogs for the same issue. Later in 1994, Wilson faced yet another similar recall, this time involving undercooked ham products. These recurring problems highlighted serious production challenges, emphasizing the importance of thorough quality control in ensuring food safety and maintaining consumer trust.
Ham.
The name Nathan's might bring to mind competitive eating legends, but even Joey Chestnut hasn't tackled 210,606 pounds of hot dogs in one go. That staggering amount was recalled after reports of metal fragments in Nathan's famous frankfurters. The discovery turned stomachs, as metal contamination is far from the ideal accompaniment to a hot dog loaded with relish and ketchup. This recall served as a sobering reminder of the risks that can arise in food manufacturing.
It's like thanks, but no thanks.
The recall of Nathan's hot dogs began after 3 complaints of metal fragments found in packages of Franks produced on January 26, 2017. Unfortunately, the recall was announced just 1 week before Memorial Day, a peak time for cookouts. Shoppers were urged to check the product codes and dates on their hot dogs before grilling to ensure they weren't affected. Thankfully, no injuries or reports of ingesting the metal pieces were reported, but the timing of the recall added extra pressure during the busy holiday weekend. Metal contamination has unfortunately become a recurring issue in hot dog production, making it a frequent and concerning aspect of food recalls.
Get all the metal you can find!
In May 2019, Vienna Beef issued a recall of 2,030 pounds of skinless beef franks due to metal contamination, prompting a Class 1 recall from the FDA. The metal levels in the franks were concerning enough to pose potential health risks. The affected products were shipped in 10-pound cases to restaurants in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana, allowing the company to quickly identify and retrieve the specific shipments. As there were no retail sales involved, grocery store customers were not at risk. Fortunately, no health issues were reported by consumers who dined at the affected restaurants, and the situation was managed swiftly. In September 2024, Dearborn Sausage Company recalled nearly 2,000 pounds of hot dogs due to a labeling error that led to undeclared pork and soy ingredients. The company accidentally swapped labels on their beef wieners, resulting in some packages of beef being labeled as containing both beef and pork, while others labeled as beef only actually contained both beef and pork. This mistake went unnoticed by customers and posed serious concerns, particularly for individuals with soy allergies or those observing kosher or halal dietary laws. The recall was prompted not only by safety concerns, but also by the need to uphold strict dietary practices. Fortunately, no illnesses or injuries were reported, and the issue was swiftly addressed.